Hi guys, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Peter Louw.
Welcome to our podcast Legend and Lore, a World Tour. Today we're heading to Vienna, Austria, to talk about a creature that has terrified people for centuries. The Basilisk of Schönlattengasse. Now when I hear the name Basilisk, I immediately think of the massive snake from Harry Potter. And honestly, before researching this story, I always thought of the basilisk it was just one big serpent. But as it turns out, I was completely wrong. On to the legend of the Basilisk of Vienna.
I actually thought a basilisk is more like a hound. Well, I didn't do the Harry Potter thing until recently. I thought basilisk is like the hound of Baskerville or something, but basilisk. I don't know. Might be just me.
I've never known anything, I've never heard of a basilisk before actually Harry Potter.
No, I haven't. I actually googled it now, a basilisk, and I saw, oh, well, it's a serpent. Okay.
Well, apparently not. Not in Vienna, anyway.
Okay.
Our story takes place in the 13th century, in a narrow street in Vienna known as Schönlattengasse. This is where, according to the legend, a terrifying creature lurks deep in a well. But unlike the snake-like basilisk of modern fantasy, like Peter Louw just googled and saw, this one was something much stranger, a hybrid of a rooster and a lizard, with a gaze so deadly that anyone who looked into its eyes would be turned to stone. Which is the same as the basilisk in Harry Potter, I'm just saying. They also turn to stone. The origin of the basilisk, actually I died and if they saw in a mirror they turned to stone.
No, I can't remember. I fell asleep in that one.
Didn't make me hurt you.
I was on an aeroplane before we started watching Harry Potter on the plane and I fell asleep.
Okay. The origins of the basilisks are as bizarre as the creatures itself. It was said to have been born from an egg laid by a rooster and hatched by a toad. Two creatures that are not exactly known for producing offspring together. But somehow, this unnatural combination resulted in a monster that terrified the people of Vienna.
I get this whole feeling of that thing of like the rooster on the cow on the donkey's back with the toad on top. You know, like that story. I think it's a horse, and on the horse's back there's a pig. On the pig's back there's a rooster, and on the rooster's back there's a toad.
I'm not sure. I remember some sort of picture, but I don't remember where it's from.
It feels like something like that.
Okay, so one day a maid went to the well to fetch water, completely unaware of what was lurking below. As she peered into the depths, her eyes locked onto something. Something staring right back at her. In an instant, she was turned to stone. Panic spread throughout the city, and the magistrates were called to investigate. But no one could explain what had happened or what kind of creature was responsible. That is, until a wise man stepped forward from the crowd. I believe this is a basilisk, he declared, and he explained what a terrible danger the city was facing. The mere sight of the creature's eyes could petrify a person instantly, and its venom was so powerful that it didn't even need to bite you to cause death. Swords and spears could not penetrate it, it was useless against it. Imagine being there, standing in the crowd, knowing that this thing was lurking beneath the city. I don't think I would have been very happy.
I have lots of questions. Where does this wise man come from, and where does he get this said knowledge? Is it just someone that happened, that this thing was just born, this is a new thing, and some wise man just goes, oh, let's give it a name, a basilisk, and oh, by the way, you can't kill it.
Okay, well, before today we didn't know about a basilisk. Somewhere somebody knew about its history. Somewhere, I don't know, his origins.
This is one day a maid went to the well. So that was the first case. And then there was really someone that knows about the basilisk.
It doesn't mean that it's the first sighting of a basilisk. It can be the first time in Vienna.
Okay, let's try that one. Let's see how it goes.
So the city was desperate. No one knew how to kill the creature until the wise man revealed that the basilisk has one weakness. If it saw its own reflection, it would turn itself into stone. Hans Riesel, the owner of the house above the well, was a baker, and he was so desperate to rid the city of the creature that he offered a great reward to anyone who could defeat it. His apprentice stepped forward, but instead of asking for money, he had a different request. He wanted to marry the baker's daughter.
This is where it goes full fairy tale from here on.
So, I love a good love story, so I'm definitely choosing to believe this version of the tale.
Okay, so there's more than one version. There's a more believable version.
No, all of them is the same. It's just the reward part and so on, the love story and so that changes. It's always the baker's apprentice and so on. I just prefer this specific story. So
What's interesting is that, well, the guy living above the well is a baker. Okay, it's getting interesting. So
it's basically that it's his property. The well is on his property. When I read about this, they're talking about the person whose property it was, but he was a baker and he had an apprentice. So that all stays the same in all the stories. It's just the specific part that I loved because I love a love story.
yeah, it goes all Disney's and Disney.
Oh,
Disney from
shush. Nobody asked your opinion there. The apprentice came up with a plan. Armed with only a mirror, he carefully climbed down into the well, making sure not to look directly at the creature. I don't know why I didn't think it was going to come up and like bite him but anyway. As he positioned the mirror, the basilisk saw its own reflection for the first time, and in an instant, it turned to stone.
Well, that wasn't very difficult. So let's just take a mirror to the river and then...
Yes, you just had to have
Dead
one
snake.
person that knew. Well, not dead, petrified. The petrified body of the basilisk was pulled from the well and placed in a niche in the wall as a warning to all. And of course, the brave apprentice got to marry the baker's daughter, as promised. Over the years, the legend of the basilisk became deeply ingrained in Vienna's history. In 1577, the story was officially inscribed on the wall of the house where the event supposedly took place, and in 1932, the inscription was restored using the original text. Even today, if you walk down Schuldatengasse, you'll find a mural depicting the legend. Peter Louis, can you describe the artwork for us?
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's look at this. So this is a boy holding a mirror above a toadish, froggish thingy. Let me zoom in here.
It's not what I thought it would look like at all.
Yeah, I was
That
imagining a
does not look
snake.
terrifying.
This is like a frog leg with a... I don't even know what the back looks like with the strangest rooster face on a snake. Would that be? And then there's nice little flowers around it, obviously, because
Well, it
this is
looks like
Vienna.
vines because it goes around.
It might be vine. And then there's words there that I cannot... I'm not
Pronounce.
even going to try and pronounce and read. It's Latin. That is Latin.
Well, I don't know. It's
Anna
Vienna, wouldn't
Decimicum
it be?
Word- Yeah, that's Latin. Yeah. That's Latin. I don't speak Latin. Not anymore. I used to when I was younger.
Sure.
Yeah.
In your own ears, anyway. So, while the basilisk itself may be long gone, we're hoping, some visitors claim to feel an eerie presence near the well.
Okay, so, but are all the basilisks there? Was there only one?
That's why I'm saying we're hoping. There was just one in that well.
But so this wise man knew about the basilisk, so he knew about this basilisk.
Well, you don't know. Maybe he traveled a lot. Maybe there was a different basilisk. I don't know. I don't know his in-depth story.
But that would mean there's more basilisks out there if it's still a creepy, eerie feeling around.
Well, as the legend is still there and they're changing it into a snake, I'm sure there can be a basilisk out there.
Well, I'm starting not to believe any of this. Not that I-
Ugh.
Okay, you do your thing.
I'm going to give up on you soon. While the basilisk itself may be long gone, some visitors claim to feel an eerie presence near the well, and there are even reports of shadowy movements at night. Could there still be something lurking in the depths? That's the story of the Basilisk of Vienna. But don't go anywhere, we're not done yet. Vienna is home to more than just legendary monsters. It's also a city filled with ghostly tales, and one of the most famous spirits is the White Lady of Hofburg's palace. Now let's dive into the chilling tale of this mysterious ghost. I have to say, researching the White Lady of Hofburg Palace was a challenge. There's surprisingly little information about her. The most detailed source I could find was secretvienna.org. which gave me more than just the usual mention that she appeared wearing different colored gloves to signal either good or bad news. Legends of the White Lady are whispered across Europe, with many variations, but in most accounts she is of noble birth, doomed to wander the castle and palaces after a tragic death. Depending on the color of her gloves, she is said to predict major events. Black gloves foretell misfortune or death, while white gloves signify a blessing, such as birth. In rare cases, she appears after an event has already occurred. Peter Louis, what do you think about this? Imagine seeing a ghostly figure and having no idea if she's about to predict something good or terrible. Would you want to know your fate in advance, or would you rather stay blissfully unaware?
I'm pretty sure if I do see a ghost or apparition, I'm not going to look at the color of the gloves, which is a kind of weird thing. Is if she predicts future and past and all these things, why would your gloves change, and why would I ever care? I would probably not stay around and look at you. Just on that's a side note for my mind going.
I thought you were the one that would want to talk to them. Now all of a sudden you'd run away.
Not run away, but okay, that depends on what your idea of what is a ghost or apparition.
Well, if you listen to White Lady, it means she's a white ghost. So she's purely white. Obviously, if she has black or white gloves on, you're going to notice.
And nothing you've said so far means that she's going to hurt me.
No.
She doesn't drag me underground or burn me or bite me or vampire me or stabby. Back at stabby again.
They didn't stabby. You want to stabby. There's a difference.
I wouldn't say I would run away from a ghost. I'd say I would probably not
stay around to look at the colored gloves.
Stay around and look at the colored gloves. And I don't think a ghost will hang around long enough to show me the gloves.
Like I say, I'm guessing it stands out. Obviously, if it's white, well, it's not black, so it has to be white. But I'm guessing like Casper vibes. It's just pure white. So you're going to notice if it's pure white and there's these black gloves on her hand. You won't be able to miss that. It's like where they joke with a smile and they take out a tooth or they make the tooth yellow or something or black and you notice the smile first.
And then would I care what the gloves say?
Well, yes. Obviously, if it's black, you're going to worry. What does it mean? Who's dying? Is it me? Is it my kid? Is it my family? What's going... No.
And do I have a say in who's dying? Can I?
Obviously not.
Can I write in a note and give it back to her
They're not talking to her. She's appearing to let you know something's up. So, different noble families have claimed the White Lady as their own. But one name appears again and again. Kunungunde. Sorry if I butchered the name, guys. It's always. Some versions say she is Kunungunde of Weimar. Orlamunde.
Oh, it's getting worse. Oh, here you go with all the names.
A woman from the 14th... You can do them. A woman from the 14th century who allegedly murdered 2 children... Well, that's not something to laugh about. So, a woman from the 14th century who allegedly murdered 2 children and, after living a life of misery, was cursed to become the White Lady. Others believe she was actually Kunungunde, the wife of Ottokar II of Bohemia. That's a pretty dramatic difference. One version paints her as a tragic victim while the other makes her this villain. Peter Louis, why do you think so many myths contradict themselves like this? Is it just a case of story changing over time, or do you think people add details to make it more dramatic?
Well, this is a very old... Most myths, most lures are very old. And I like apparition and ghostly things and stuff with a little bit of repetition. That means if a story is told in different places the same, or there's parts of it that's the same, that gives it a little bit of legitimacy. But something like this, it does change of where does this lady come from. It might just be a lost in translation. Everybody does add a little bit of tale to a story, or it was never actually captured and written down, and now it's just a spook story, something you'd say you tell each other around the campfire. So that means every time everybody has a little bit of a say to it. Legitimacy, yes, there is the same thing. They'll all say a white lady in the same area. Sure, I'm pretty sure there might actually then be a ghost. But where she came from, nobody will ever know.
I don't know. Something that interests me, and no, I don't want to go there to find out, but I mean, if they see her, do they just see like a white sheet type of, it's the white lady and she's wearing a white sheet, or do they actually see facial features?
Because that's what I also asked earlier.
Because
you
isn't
see
there a photo that looks like her?
there's
Because it's a white lady. So I'm guessing, and I'm not guessing it's a race white lady, as in she's not black. I'm guessing she looks like a sheet, basically.
A wedding dress or sheet.
And her face
or
and
Casper.
everything is white, like Casper, like that white effect. That's what they're calling the white lady, because everything about her is white.
Except for the gloves, obviously.
Well, sometimes the gloves are white, so it depends on the visit.
But it does kind of feels like she'll come out for no reason if she comes out with white gloves. That means she's got no purpose to come out and tell you something. She's got black gloves, someone's going to die.
No, white gloves, she does have a purpose. It's she's predicting something like births, something good.
Okay. No, I thought about this is a pointless.
Yeah, somebody didn't listen to what I was saying previously.
I might have drifted off a bit.
Anyway, the mystery even fascinated Empress Zita, who tried to uncover more about the ghost but found little. Emperor Joseph II and Franz Joseph were both said to have encountered her, though there is no record of what, if anything, she predicted for them. And it's not just royalty who has seen her. According to old tales, Vienna wine growers would wait for the White Lady to appear near St. Stephen's South Tower around 4 p.m. Not as an omen, but as a signal that it was time for their afternoon break. So, okay, this is like my favorite detail. Imagine using a ghost as a work timer. If you had a ghostly co-worker appearing at a certain time each day, what task would you want them to remind you about?
What is... It says if she does appear at the clock tower with
Every day.
Every day, but today she's got black gloves. Is it me? Is it the guy next to me? Is it the other wine farmer? Is it the white wine farmer? Is it the red wine farmer? Who's getting bad news now? That doesn't just go anywhere and go everywhere he wants to.
So it feels to me, and this is just my speculation, that it's more to the royalty, the higher bloodline, whatever, that she appears to tell you an omen. And to the wine goer, she just appears to like, hey, it's break time every day at 4.
I think it was someone's daughter that stayed at the palace just putting her laundry out, and then they're like, oh, it must be the ghost. And I think she actually just stayed there and didn't realize that she is the folklore now.
But then she had to be like see-through white, not just...
Well,
not the girl in a white dress, see-through white.
At 4 p.m. in Europe, it's kind of still sunshiny. I think it's just a girl. They just saw a girl. Why would a ghost be out at 4 p.m. in the afternoon? What would you see? It's just a person. I think they...
To tell the wine goers it's lunchtime. Break time, not lunchtime.
I think they just mistook someone's daughter as a king
every
or
single
something.
day.
Every single day she put out 7 pieces of laundry because she had 7 pieces of laundry to wash or something. And she got out and they were like, hey, look, it's time to go. And then they go.
No, I don't agree with you, but what's new? Why don't you describe the 2 photos in front of you to our listeners?
So this is a view of the Hofburg from Hero Square, Haldensplatz at night. And it's quite it's Vienna. It seems like a palace.
That's Hofburg Palace.
Is this Hofburg Palace
Yes.
now? Okay, with the Lorsy guy in front.
It says the view of Hofburg.
It says, well, that's what I just said. But anyway, it's a beautiful palace. I've been to Vienna. Everything looks like that. Everywhere you go, it looks like that. It's actually quite beautiful. I think I've actually might have been exactly there. I think so.
Maybe you saw the white lady, but you didn't believe.
Maybe I danced with the white lady with the gloves.
Let's
Who
hope
knows?
not.
Anyway. And then the second photo. Well, it's just a palace with a guy riding a horse statue in the front, like normal palaces do. And then there's a hallway, but this is a creepy hallway. I can imagine seeing a ghost in this hallway.
Yes.
It's also like this typical marble hallway with a very skew and crooked door frame. And it feels like I am looking at a ghost looking at this. It's a
I
very
don't think
creepy.
it's a crooked doorway. It just has kind of a...
Yeah, I think it's oval or shaped or round,
Yes,
or what do
it's
you call
just
it? What do you call a building that has no corners?
Well, technically it has corners.
It has corners, but it feels like it might be a...
They shaped it in a different way to make it more
Yeah.
fancy. But yes, it's a very creepy hallway. So, there's still so much missing from the story. Who exactly was she? What led to her tragic fate? If anyone out there has more information about this, we'd love to hear about it. And so ends our second tale. Until next time, stay curious and keep the legends alive. Bye!
Bye.